Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from.
Sorry, I've cried 18 times. I mean, it's a really sad topic.
It is a sad topic, and I'm sorry to be the guy who's taken Miss Rachel away from the happy YouTube. You work with kids. That's literally what you do. You entertain children. You make them laugh. You help them potty train. You see them at their most vulnerable, and you're doing that on YouTube. And then at the same time, you're speaking out and sharing videos and talking about. I think you wished. I saw a post of yours recently where you actually it would have been Hind Rajab's birthday. You're doing that at the same time. I'm just wondering how you're doing both.
When did empathy become controversial? In a world where silence is safe and speaking out is punished, Miss Rachel, yes, the same YouTuber educator that millions of toddlers adore, dares to do what many won't, stand up for the children of Gaza. She's not a politician. She's not an activist. She's a teacher with a heart so loud it echoes across borders. And for what? She's targeted, labeled as controversial, and dragged through the mud by those who fear compassion. This isn't just about war. This is about humanity. If helping starving, amputated, and orphan kids makes you divisive, then what kind of world are we living in? Miss Rachel isn't stepping out of her lane. She's redefining it. This is a sit-down with Miss Rachel and Mehdi Hasan from Zateo. It's not something that I usually post around here. It's not a debate either, but it was a heavy perspective that I had to share. I hope you enjoy it. Grab your box of napkins, because this one will get teary.
You know, it's not easy, but I always think about what's going on over there, and then it becomes just something you have to do. As a teacher, you care about all kids, and I think so many years of teaching, you just see them all as so similar. They all love to laugh, and they love to learn, and they love to play, and they deserve to play, and they have human rights, and so you see them as so similar.
You mentioned Hind Rajab, which is one of the most shocking stories of the last 18 months. But you haven't just posted about Hind Rajab. I believe you've been in contact with her mom.
Her mom messaged me. It's crazy that with Instagram, people can message you. And so
I think that's how we first connected.
Yes, and I was delighted. It's crazy how on Instagram you can connect with moms, and actually, little kids message me too. And I had one recently who lost her parents and siblings. She just has grandma.
Where?
Gaza.
In Gaza.
And she sent me a voice memo, and she's like, Miss Rachel, can you stay with me? I don't have my family. And I voice messaged back like, I'm here, of course. Thanks for reaching out. And
you shared some pictures on your Instagram of meeting with a little girl from Gaza who came to see you.
Yes, Rahaf.
Rahaf. Tell us about Rahaf.
Rahaf, I wish everyone in the world could meet her. She's so delightful. I gave her some gifts, and I gave her a box of rings, and right away she put one on me and everybody who was around. She was like, okay, here's one for me, now I'm going to give one to everybody. She has the best laugh. When your children laugh, and their laugh is so cute, and she was squealing. And so we all started laughing because she was just so cute. And she falls a lot. She has 2 prosthetics, and she falls a lot. And I asked her host family and her mom through a translator, do you guys kind of spot her, or do you just let her fall? Because I know kids love to be independent. We all know kids are like, I want to do it myself, all by myself. Every kid says that. So they're like, no, just let her run around, and you don't have to spot her or anything. So she would fall on her face, and then she'd just pop up and want to hop like a bunny. And she was just so precious, and she was a vivid example of how when children have what they need, medical care, healthy food, support, they're going to thrive, and they're so resilient. And then somebody asked her mom what she wanted to say to me, and her mom talked a lot about her mental health improving with the show. And then I was shown pictures and videos of her in Gaza, on a hospital floor, and then her just kind of staring into space, looking down, and you can see the effect on her physical and mental health. And so you see, okay, we know what's not right for children. And now we see what is, and we can see it through images and video of her. And I told her mom, like, she's so bright and she's just gonna do great. Like, she's just, she's so worried about her. And the difficult thing is we're so joyful and hopping like bunnies and laughing so hard. And then Isra, her mom, grabs her phone and has her little boys on FaceTime. And her boys are adorable. I think they're around age 7 and 9. And they're in Gaza. And here I am, like, thinking, like, trying to be sweet and talk to her boys in, like, the Miss Rachel voice. But I'm also like, what if my son was over there and my husband, and then I'm here with my little girl losing her legs? And then I'm thinking about the boys, and I was asking if there's any way they can come here. And this wonderful woman was saying, because I was asking kind of her she was translating, and I said, is there any way for them to come here? And she was saying no. And she was saying they don't eat anymore on FaceTime with them. Sorry.
No, it's a horrific situation.
And then the translator, I remembered she had said, like, thank you for seeing our children as human, when I had spoke out before. And so I want those little boys to have everything my little boy has. And their mom's a teacher like me. She's a math teacher.
Wow.
So we're both teachers, and our children are our world. A friend recently told me about a quote from Jewish text, which is, every life is a universe. And I wrote that down. I just thought it was so beautiful.
I mean, it's just basic empathy, humanity. It's crazy that's become controversial.
Yeah.
And you have spoken out about kids in Gaza. I've seen you speak about in Sudan. You mentioned the Congo a moment ago when you first started working with Save the Children. Mm-hmm. You've posted about kids from Israel who were taken hostage and killed horrifically. You've posted about all these things, but when you speak out about kids in Gaza, Palestinian children, some people, I should say a minority, go crazy. They think it's somehow controversial, it's divisive. And you said the word humanity. Are Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from. What you're doing is just so human.
It's sad that people try to make it controversial when you speak out for children that are facing immeasurable suffering. The largest cohort of child amputees in modern history. That acronym for a child who has no surviving relatives. And I think it should be controversial to not say anything.
You mentioned silence and how you really need to speak out. It's weird not to speak out. I'm sure you have a lot of good people in your lives, well-meaning friends and family, who are saying to you, just be quiet. It's not worth it. Think about yourself and your career and your family, and you'll say, just shh. Don't go there. A lot of celebrities don't say anything about this stuff. What do you say to them?
Well, I say, what would you want someone to do if you were there? Because as a mother, I met Isra, Rahaf's mom, and if I was there and she was here, what would I want her to do? And that's why I want to talk about Rahaf all I can and the boys, because I have empathy. And I do also have the peace of God, which our show is not religious. And in my own life, though, I have the peace and strength of God that I feel. And so when things are like a roller coaster, I was on the roller coaster of this career. And I was on the roller coaster of the people saying, you're wonderful, and then people saying, those other things and accusations, and I was on that roller coaster, and I did step off, and now I kind of watch it, and I do feel the peace of God, and I just know what is right, and I just have to.
And yet, there is this kind of bad faith, persistent campaign against you. You've been attacked for speaking out about the children in Gaza. There have been hit pieces in right-wing media. There are some pro-Israel groups who've demanded the DOJ investigate you. I've seen that too, which sounds crazy. I just wonder, how does that make you feel? I mean, I'm used to this, sadly. I've been the subject of many hit pieces. What I do for a living, it's kind of like, it's not nice for anyone, but I'm kind of used to it. When I look at what you're going through, I wonder, it's a whole new world you've been pulled into over the last 18 months. How does that make you feel, you and your family, when you see the crap that's said about you by some bad faith people?
I've been shocked and hurt and scared. And the idea that caring for a group of children in an emergency situation means you don't care about other children is false. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. As teachers, I was a New York City public school teacher, and I care about every child in my class. I don't care about half of them because of where they were born. I care about all of them. And if some are in an emergency situation, I'm going to say, let's help them. And it doesn't mean I don't deeply care about all of them. And I love learning about their cultures, and something we are taught in education is to have children share their culture and have pride in who they are. And I, as a music teacher, I'm thinking of a concert we did where we did a Hanukkah song, a Jingle Bells type song, Christmas, and we did a Day of Eid song. And the parents in the audience were so happy, and they all felt valued. And that's what teachers do. We love our students. And recently somebody said I was out of my lane for talking about kids' human rights. And I was thinking, I'm an educator. We want our kids to have food. Educators, literally, I follow a lot of educators. They are having snacks in their room for kids that don't have food at home. They are getting a hairbrush, and they are brushing kids' hair at school. So when I saw the little girl on Instagram who, well, she can't brush her hair because of malnutrition, but we don't, our compassion doesn't have boundaries or borders. We just love kids. And I have connected and sat with a family member of whose family is held hostage right now. And I was moved to tears multiple times. It was horrific and harrowing. And I also put myself, as an empathetic person, I put myself in that situation. And it's just horrible.
I've also seen that you posted about the little Bibas kids who, what happened to them in Gaza, horrific. What do you say to people who say, and again, I don't want to make this sound like there's more than there are, but the small minority of people who want to cause trouble, who say that you're anti-Semitic because you want kids in Gaza to be able to eat and play?
It doesn't make sense. It's not true. I'm against any bigotry. And I've seen bigotry. It's horrible, and I'm so against it. The image of Sherry, so terrified holding those boys in like a wrap. That is seared in my mind forever as well. And I thought about them all the time. I just can't imagine what Yarden went through and is going through. And just like I said, things can be really divisive, but I focus on helping all kids.
And just on that note then, to wrap up.
I'm sorry I've cried 18 times. I mean, it's a really sad topic.
It is a sad topic, and I'm sorry to be the guy who's taken Miss Rachel away from the happy YouTube. But, as you say, silence is not an option. for those of us who care about humanity, forget the politics. I've interviewed many people about the politics of the Middle East. I have no interest in talking to you about the politics of the Middle East. But I do want to hear from a children's educator and a person who children love. The fact that you're telling me that kids in Gaza are sending you voice memos, that you are looked up to, not just by kids in New York or DC, but kids around the world. And of course, then you're going to speak out for them. That just makes sense. And we admire you for doing so.
What Miss Rachel and Mehdi Hasan just gave us wasn't just a political debate. It was a moral wake-up call. Two people from entirely different worlds united by one radical idea. Children are not collateral. Their words weren't just heartfelt, they were haunting. If we can't absorb that a child's laughter, a child's right to play, and a child's life should never be up for negotiation, then we've lost the very essence of humanity. Miss Rachel showed us that compassion isn't weakness, it's resistance. Mehdi reminded us that silence is complicity. This isn't just a moment to remember, it's a mirror to reflect on. So ask yourself, what would you do if that was your child under the rubble? Obviously, staying silent isn't an option, is it? If their truths hit you in the chest like it did for me, don't scroll, don't stay quiet. Share this, talk about it. And for God's sake, let the world know that standing up for Gaza's children is not anti-Semitism. It's basic effing humanity. My name's Z, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.